What's up guys, Pugajimasu. In this video I'm going to be going over every meta build in the Valentines update. Alright, now let's get on to our first build, which is going to be Shrine with Beast Amber. Alright, so first thing for this build you're going to want Kashima or Sukuna, both of the tier 4 vows and sorcery heavenly restriction. You will also need E6 Shrine and Beast Amber. And finally the best gear will be maxed out Love X's. And second best will be Stand Crown. Now here's a showcase on Calamity Sukuna. First thing we do is dash towards the boss and we pop Innate Awakening. And then we'll immediately pop Malevolent Shrine right after. Once we're actually inside our shrine, we're gonna use Beast Bomb and the Fugo. And then we'll use our other 3 shrine skills, and then go back to Beast Amber, use Fusion Point and Beast Bomb, and then go back over to our shrine and use the other 3 shrine skills once again, and boom. Boss is dead, 36 seconds. Crazy fast. Alright, now on to Infinite Chef Kuna. For this will be in the same exact opener as we did in Calamity Sukuna. So I'm just going to speed this up until we're out of domain. Alright, so now that we're out of domain, we're basically just going to be spamming all of our moves back and forth between Shrine and Beast Amber. Then once we have our Innate Awakening back, we're basically just going to go back into mode, and then back into domain, and then we're just going to keep doing that until we run out of time. Put this on 2x speed until we get back into domain, and then I'm just going to speed it up like crazy, just so you can see the score. By the way, I think our VFX guy cooked up with these skins. I think that the Fuga is gotta be like the coolest thing in the game, honestly. Like how it disappears with the flame and then like just crashes down at the end. I think it's super sick. Alright, now I'll actually just let you watch until the final score. And boom, look at that, 181 million. Now let's go on to the FHR build. For this build you're going to need Toji, Physical Heavenly Restriction, and then you're also going to want to use both of the tier 4 vows. And the best weapons will be maxed out ISO and Festering. And obviously the gear will be the exact same. Now for Calamity Sukuna. First thing you're going to do is dash forward and use Celestial Slam, and then Sharp Whirls, and then your Divine Slash. Then you'll go into Festering and use all of its moves. And then once you use all of its moves, you're obviously just going to go back to ISO, use Sharp Whirls, use Divine Slash, and use Celestial Slam. And then now you'll start using Heavenly Blitz in between every rotation to make sure you get all your cooldowns back. And you just keep doing the same exact rotation over and over again until the boss is dead. And when you see it, it gets pretty good at times. It's not necessarily as good as the Shrine one, but it is very close. And the good thing about FHR is that it goes insane on easy runs. Like, if you can kill the boss like in 1 or 2 hits, you're just gonna annihilate it in a couple seconds. Now let's show exactly that. Okay, that's for the boss, use Celestial Slam, use Divine Slash, and it's dead. 3 seconds. So this is a crazy farm for easy raids. Now let's showcase FHR and Infinite Raid. So the thing about FHR and Infinite Raid is it's not as good as the peak SHR builds. It's not like a lot worse, but it is a little bit worse. The really main thing about FHR is that it's crazy on easy raids, and then it's almost equal, but technically slightly worse on like the Calamity Raid, and then it's a little bit worse on Infinite Raid. Where it really does shine is those easy, crazy speed raids. And since this is the same rotation you've already seen, it's just going to do the same thing literally over and over again for 5 minutes. I'm going to speed this up like crazy just so you can see how good the score gets. And there we go, 165 million score. Obviously not as good as Shrine, but this is still really good. Alright, now let's go on to the protection build. So for this build you're going to be using Kashimo as the clan, and then everything else is the same as the Shrine build, and then obviously you're going to be using E6 Projection and E6 Beast Amber. And for Sukuna Calamity, the same thing as Shrine, you're just literally going to dash forward and pop your Innate Awakening. And what we're going to do is we're going to use Beatdown, and then we're going to use Beast Bomb, and then we're going to use our Absolute Beatdown ultimates. We do those other 2 moves first, so they're going to be off cooldown once we finish the ultimate move, which is going to allow us to get the quickest time as possible, and just maximize our DPS really. Once we've done this, we're just going to be spamming all of our moves back and forth on these 2 hits, and then the boss is just gonna die. It's very quick. We're a tiny bit slower than the Shrine build, but it is still, I believe, 38 seconds here, which is still very, very fast. Yep, 36 seconds, and now let's get on to the Infinite showcase of this build. Okay, so for this, we're going to do the same exact opener as we did in the Calamity Sukuna, And really the only difference is that once you're out of mode, you're gonna have to stagger your beast bomb technically, which is really just like, your beast bomb is not gonna immediately be off CDF using all of your projection moves, so you're just gonna basically use the C move, and maybe you'll also have to use the F and R move for your beast bomb to be back up. It's really simple, it's just like, your move's not gonna be off CD right away, so you're gonna have to use it for it. And then once you get back into your modes, you know, it's just literally spam back and forth. And then also, before you use your Absolute Cinema, I don't know what's an absolute beatdown. You're just going to be using your beatdown and your beast bomb right before it, so then your CDs will be back off once you finish it, and that's going to be optimizing your DPS. So now I'm just going to speed this up until the end so you can see the score. As you see here, this gets very good scores. This and the Shrine build get pretty much the exact same scores. You see 181 million as well. Now for our final build, we'll be using Limitless. This is literally going to be the exact same build as the projection, but the only difference is you're going to be using E6 Limitless instead of E6 projection. Alright, now for Claim Sigma, you're going to do the exact same opener as the other ones, and then once you've popped your mode, you're going to be using Beast Bomb into your Hollow Purple. From here, you're just going to be swimming back and forth between your Beast Amber moves and your red and max blue, and then whenever your ults are off CD, you can be using both of them. Then you're just going to keep doing this rotation until the boss is dead. And if the raid does take you longer, you're actually going to be using Unlimited Void, which you'll see on the Infinite run. Here though it's faster to just not use it because it just takes too long to pop. As you can see here, this gets very quick times, 38 seconds, the same as projection. Alright, now on to Infinite. So for this, you're actually doing it quite a bit different than we did with Explainer Sukuna because we're actually going to be using our domain here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in pop mode and then we're going to instantly pop our domain. Now when we're done, we're going to use Beast Bomb into purple. After that, we're going to use all of our Beast Amber moves and back into the Beast Bomb. Then we use our Beast Amber F, Beast Amber C, back into red and purple. After purple, we use Fusion Point in the Beast Bomb, and then we use our other two Beast Amber skills. Then we're going to hop over to our Limitless and use red into max blue. After that, we'll be back on Beast Amber and use all of our Beast Amber skills into the ultimate. And after that, well, basically we're out of domain. So our domain will use red into purple, and then now from here we're basically going to be going back and forth and just spamming all our moves and using our ult in their offsuit. Then once we have Innate Awakening back, we're also going to use just Innate Awakening and domain, and we're just going to keep doing this same stuff until the timer is off. So after mission to do, I'm just going to speed this up until the end so you can see the final score. And as you see here, this is better than FHR, but it's not as good as the other two SHR builds, so I'd say this is like kind of in between. Alright, so now for some closing thoughts. Because Shrine is the best for Calamity Sukuna, technically, just by a little bit, and then also tied for first on your Infinite raids, I'd say that Shrine is going to be the best build overall. And obviously, all of the SHR meta builds are going to be using Beast Amber because it's just that overpowered. It's the true S+ in the game. Then tied for second, I'd say Projection and their FHR Toji build. It's because they're both slightly worse than Shrine and Calamity Sukuna, though Projection also is going to be tied for first in the Infinite raid. And even though FHR is not going to be the best for Infinite raid, it's so good in easy mode that it's got to be second. Then I would say Limitless NBA is third overall. And with that, that's going to end the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and keep playing Jujutsu 0.